I'm sorry. Did somebody knock you on the head and make you think that owning a horse was going to be cheap? Hey bitch, and welcome back to another video of me talking about people I hate. To be blunt, people need to stop buying horses that they can't afford. Out of all the things that I regularly see in the horse world, out of even all the abuse that I see, this one really takes the cake. This topic upsets me deeply to my core. Before we get into this crazy video, you guys, I want to say a massive thank you to this video's sponsor, which is Dossier. I absolutely love Dossier. I've been working with them for so long. Oh my God, they have just the most amazing luxury perfumes that you can buy on their website for just $29 a piece. This makes buying luxury perfumes absolutely affordable and convenient. I am going to be totally honest, I have not met a single perfume on their website that I didn't absolutely love. If you are unsure of what perfume scent smells best on you, feel free to take the quiz on Dossier's website. It's super convenient. Dossier was created to make premium fragrances accessible to absolutely everybody. Dossier not only has some of the most amazing fragrances, but they are also an eco-friendly and sustainable company. Definitely my most favorite scent is Ambery Saffron. They just recently sent this to me in the mail, and oh my God, I was dancing to Miley Cyrus's song Flowers for probably an hour. It's just such an amazing scent, and honestly, their perfumes last for so long, pretty much all day. I mean, we all know equestrians are smelly, girl, so you know, you gotta mask that horse scent, and it does a phenomenal job of doing that. 5 stars all around from me. I absolutely love Dossier, and they are such an amazing sponsor here on this channel, so please check them out. You can click my link to shop their website. That is going to be the first link below in the description. But let's go ahead and let's get into the video.
We originally had a concerned citizen actually send us a message. We then contacted the local authorities in Henry County, the animal control officers, at which point they did their job. They went and made a wellness check. When they got to her, they immediately did what they needed to do to be able to get her out of that situation.
Lovejoy says Valentine was about 300 pounds underweight, very weak and unsteady on her feet. The sheriff's office says in this abuse/neglect case, Jacole C. Hairston, 29, of Martinsville, has been charged with cruelty to animals and failing to care for an agricultural animal.
It's just really annoying. It's kind of depressing that people will let their animals get in this shape and then not try to get some help for them. Because you can't just let an animal die because you can't afford to feed it.
Stop buying horses that you can't afford. It sounds like common sense, but guys, I swear, the amount of people that don't have emergency funds set aside for their horses is honestly shocking. The amount of people who let their horses suffer because they don't have the money to pay for vet treatment blows my mind. Even at my brokest moment, I had a barrel racing teacher, ironically enough. I know a lot of people say that I shit on barrel racers quite a lot. My barrel racing teacher, I really love her. She's a lovely lady. Even though I disagree with barrel racing, I think she's a really lovely lady. I remember growing up, the first thing she said to me is, I need to have an emergency fund set aside for my horse at all times, no matter what, because owning a horse is very unpredictable. I can't tell you how many times having that $1,000 really saved my ass. The amount of people who let their horses suffer, and I see this so much. And it's not even that veterinarians are expensive. I get it. I understand that vets are expensive. Okay, I get it. But it's not even that. The amount of people that don't even have $300 to pay for euthanasia, emergency euthanasia for their horse. Honestly, shocking. You would be shocked if you guys were in my shoes and saw the amount of people whose horses needed emergency euthanasia because they were suffering badly from bad injuries. The amount of people who didn't even have $300. Why do you even have a horse if you don't have $300 to put your horse down in the event of an emergency? Why do you even have a horse if you can't even pay for basic care, like getting their feet trimmed? You know, I followed this Facebook page, and I'm not going to name it, but it's an equine vet Facebook page where people would post to veterinarians on this Facebook page asking for advice. So many people, and I'm talking thousands, would post photos of their horses actually experiencing real medical emergencies to get medical advice and opinions from veterinarians online, who all of which said to them that they need to call a vet immediately and they shouldn't even be posting for advice. They should have called a vet yesterday. And their response is, I don't have the funds. Then you shouldn't have a horse. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but you shouldn't have a horse. Period. You should not have a horse if you cannot afford basic care. I don't know how many times I need to say this to people. If you let a horse suffer because you don't have the money to take care of it when that was your responsibility and you just want to play victim, oh, it's just the circumstances of my current situation. It's not my fault that I don't have the money. I fell on hard times. If you fell on hard times, step one is relinquish your animal. Call the ASPCA, call your local shelter, relinquish your animal to someone who can take care of it. Call your local sheriff's department. They will come down, confiscate the horse, and take the horse to a veterinary medical center where the horse will receive care and attention and then go to a shelter. That is the responsible thing for you to do if you fall on hard times and your horse experiences an emergency. Oh, I don't want to give up my horse though. I love my horse so much I could never part with him. That makes you a bad person. If you actively know that your horse is suffering and you don't want to relinquish your horse to get the help and care that they need, you just want them to continue to suffer so that way you still have them at the end of the day, you're a bad person. I literally had to unfollow this Facebook page because of the amount of crazy people that would post on this page asking for medical advice for horses that were almost dying. I'm sorry, did somebody knock you on the head and make you think that owning a horse was going to be cheap? That they were never going to get injured? This goes for really any animal. You shouldn't own a dog, a cat, a hamster if you can't afford basic veterinary care. And the amount of people who can't even afford to have a farrier come out regularly, guys, you know, I saw this video and I wanted to talk about it because this really just deeply upset me to my core and it just really set me off because this is not the only video I've seen that's like this, and there's a lot of them that have been posted to the internet lately. This horse was essentially starved almost to death because the people, just couldn't afford to pay for it. They fell on hard times. They almost killed their horse by starving the horse to death because they couldn't afford it. And their response is, don't blame me. I fell on hard times. It's not my fault. It is your fault. You knew 6 months ago when you started to deprive the horse of food that you weren't going to have the money to pay for the horse or take care of it. Relinquish your animals. I get that some of these people probably started out with good intentions, but again, if you can't feed your horse, if you can't provide for your horse, you are not a good owner. You are neglectful, you are negligent, and you are borderline abusive. Imagine just letting your horse suffer because you don't want to be a decent human being and relinquish them to someone who can take care of them. Don't own a horse if you don't have the means to provide for the horse for the duration of the horse's life. Horses are a 30+ year commitment, and you have to factor in that you're probably going to spend $1,000 to $5,000 a year on vet or medical bills. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Horses are a massive expense, and I can't tell people how important it is for you to grasp this. A horse is not a cheap thing. Parents, if you're watching this and you have little kids, take this video seriously. Because I see a lot of parents that buy horses, ponies for their kids without realizing how expensive they are. It is a huge financial commitment to own even one horse, even a pony. Take it seriously when you buy a horse, because I'm honestly so sick of all of these people buying horses and then they can't afford them. Did you think a horse was going to be just as expensive as a dog or a cat? Because you would be wrong. If your financial situation is so fragile that an extra $500 to $1,000 a month is something that you can't afford as a random expense, don't own a horse. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I wanted to say this because I know a lot of veterinarians. This is something I talk about with a lot of people, and this is a huge pet peeve of mine. This is something I see all the time. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching this rant. It truly was just a rant. I mean, I'm just sick of seeing this, and I just wanted to come on and vent to you because share this video with anybody who needs to see this. Seriously. Thank you so much again to Dossier for sponsoring this video. I truly, truly love them. They have been the absolute best. So definitely head on over to check them out, you guys. But otherwise, I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.